Brothers and sisters, I'm delighted to tell you about this wonderful discovery that you have made, and that's of green drinks. And I have several green drink videos, but I'm sorry, I cannot help myself. I've got to be talking about green drinks because I think it's the most wonderful thing that has come from the legacy of the so-called raw food movement. I think it's a tremendous treasure. I think there is nothing more healing, more vivifying, more energizing than a green drink made from organically grown living greens. So that's what we're going to be demonstrating today. And first we're going to start with some spring water. This is Mountain Valley spring water, my favorite. It goes back in way back in American history to 1871. It's a magnificent water. And I'm going to just put a couple cups in an ordinary kitchen blender. If you want to, you could spend money on all kinds of fancy blenders, but this is one of the most least expensive blenders you can find. You can buy it in any hardware store for not too much money at all. So we're going to start with a blender with spring water, and in this, and in here, I'm going to put a clove or two of garlic. And then I'm going to put some ginger root. Put a little ginger in there, and ginger root, and then fresh turmeric root. We're going to put a bit of turmeric root. Well, isn't that a beautiful orange color? Okay. So that's the basis for what we're going to be doing, and we're going to blend that up. Okay. And then we're going to be adding our living greens. First, I'm going to be starting with some dandelion greens. Aren't they vivacious? Aren't they filled with life energy? Dandelion greens. And I'm going to use the wonderful stems and the leafy parts also. I'm going to put some dandelion greens in there. And then I have here a wonderful leaf lettuce. We're blessed here in California. There's no real, it gets cold, but it doesn't freeze. So, and if you know what you're doing, you can grow the most wonderful living greens here 12 months of the year. So I'm putting in some a leaf lettuce, and I have my dandelion greens. Let's add a little more water to this, please. Okay. And I'm going to blend it up. And now I'm going to add some celery. This is celery I just bought the other day in the farmer's market. So let's add some living celery. People for some reason throw the celery tops away. That's probably the best and most enlivened part. And let's blend that up. Okay. Isn't this a beautiful, magnificent color? It's certainly getting there. And then I'm going to add some Siberian kale, fresh from farmer's market, and we're going to blend that up. Okay. And now I want to add a bit of dinosaur kale. Dinosaur kale, it's also popularly known as dinosaur kale. It's really Italian, Italian kale, and we're going to be adding that. Okay. We're starting getting there. And then I want to supercharge my green drink. You've been noticing, of course, this flat here of, this is barley grass. Wheatgrass and barley grass are very, very similar. I prefer growing barley grass because it's, in my humble opinion, it's more vigorous. So we're going to supercharge the green drink with a clump or two of barley grass, a magnificent aroma, and we're going to put that in here. And we have it. We have a supercharged green drink made from organically grown living greens. We started out with Italian dandelion, a leaf lettuce, celery, Siberian kale, and dinosaur kale. We blended it all up, and then to supercharge it, we added a clump of barley grass. So it's all set, and there's nothing to do, or there's nothing left to do, than to partake. With green drinks, I would not store them in a refrigerator, but I would just partake right away. So here we have it, and I would just like to say that people ask us all the time, why don't you use the word raw? And the reason why is because we so much prefer the word alive. Because that's what it's all about. It's about living energy. The living energy in finely divided grains. Nothing can compare with that. The living energy in plants, the living energy in the earth, the living energy in the atmosphere, the living energy in the cosmos. This is really where it's at, and this is what we are here to do. We are protagonists of living energy. That's the job of this generation. And if you doubt this for one moment, read aloud the headlines in today's newspaper, or yesterday's newspaper, or tomorrow's newspaper. We have to, and it's our duty, it is our responsibility to be progenitors, to be the husbandmen of life energy and of living greens. It's winter now. This is a green drink for winter, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be starting your compost pile, even in the midst of winter. 2 bins in your kitchen, one for every carrot top, for every beet top, for every eggshell, for every scrap of food, for every bit of green. That goes in one compost bin, and then the other, your plastics, your paper, and so forth and so forth. And the compost bin, and there are so many videos and so much literature telling you how to go about making a compost pile. It's an organ, a digestive organ of the garden. Start building your compost pile now. So very important indeed. And if you don't have a backyard to do it in, then join a community garden. Start planning. Start preparing for a wonderful, vibrant spring. We've got to give something back to this American earth, to enliven the topsoil, to vivify the topsoil that sustains us all. And it's more important that we do this, in my humble opinion, than at any other time in living memory. It's the duty and responsibility of all of us to be advocates, to be teachers, to be healers, and to heal, vivify, and restore fertility to this American earth. Thank you so very much indeed, and bye for now.